I've got the spores, the sickness. There's the twins in my brain.
Cross is Boss episode 3 comes after a tough and muddy weekend, but it was an enjoyable one. Last weekend was a weekend of firsts. Felipe Orts, he became the first Spaniard ever to take a podium spot in a major Belgian classification round. Pim Ronhaar took his first World Cup win in the man elite category, and Zoe Backstedt was allowed on the podium of a World Cup round in the women elite category for the first time. Dieter, welcome back. How do you look back on the past weekend?
To very tough cross races, like the real old school cross races. I think the spectators look better, more positive, like on the weekend in comparison to the riders.
What was the biggest surprise of the weekend for you? Was it Felipe Orts taking third place in Niel, or was it Pim Ronhaar winning the World Cup round in Dendermonde?
For me, Pim Ronhaar. I think you can look at it both ways. At one side, you could see it coming if you saw him race in Waterloo and at the European Champs. But at the other side, Ronhaar was very insecure about his form, and he even did a blood test this Tuesday. So this Tuesday before his first World Cup win, because he thought something was wrong because one day he was flying, the other day he couldn't properly ride. To then win your first World Cup 5 days after a blood test, I think that's you can call it a surprise.
Cameron Mason joined us for the very first episode of Cross is Boss. For this third episode, I invited one of your favorite riders in the men's peloton. Is that right?
Yeah, it's true. I like the riding style of Kuhn. He always gives everything, and I think there is a lot potential in him that we didn't see yet. I'm pretty excited for this one.
You kind of ruined my introduction of Kevin Kuhn, but we're glad he wanted to join this podcast episode. Welcome, Kevin. How are you?
Thanks for having me. Nice to hear things like that. I'm a bit tired, to be honest, after a tough weekend, but I'm good. Just normal after 2 races in a row.
You'll probably agree with me when saying that this was the hardest weekend you had so far this cyclo-cross season.
Definitely. Races like that were very muddy races. It's taking a bit more from the body than than other races, and then 2 behind each other. It's makes me a bit tired, but everyone, I think.
Which one was the hardest?
For me, it was Dendermonde was harder for me. It was a bit more about raw power, I think. In Niel, there was also a bit of technique behind some difficult sections where you could try to ride a bit on technique. And in Dendermonde, it was 90% of the course was just power running or power through the mud.
Let's go back a few weeks. You started your cyclocross season at home in Switzerland, where you won 3 races. Is that for you the perfect place to prepare the start of a cyclocross season?
I guess. For me, it's also a bit. I do it also because then I can stay a bit longer at home. Not too long away from home. That's also a bit planning for the travels and everything. And there are some 3 nice races in the beginning or before the real season starts. So it's just the perfect place to try to do some good results, get in the rhythm, and have some fun also.
Does that mean during the cyclocross season you're based in Belgium?
I stay normally in the service course from the team when the races are here, but I made some blocks where I can go home and when I stay here in Belgium during the week. So I try to plan it as good as possible that I don't need to travel a lot for and back.
Kevin, we feel like you had a pretty strong start of the season here in Belgium with a 7th place at the Superprestige round in Overijse and the 4th place in Ruddervoorde. How do you look back on the start of the season?
It was I think again a step forward. I was hoping for to do that, but it's difficult to say it before. So I'm happy with my first races, but I think there's always some things to improve and to make better.
Let's talk about last weekend. On Saturday, you were racing the Telenet Superprestige round in Niel, where you rode to the 10th place. Are you happy with that result?
With the result, it's quite okay for me, but the race was not very. I didn't do a very good race. I was just going one speed, but I couldn't really go very deep there. So I just tried to do a good race. Try to don't make any mistakes, but it was also difficult on a course like that. So it's not a bad race, but it's also not a very good race. But I was quite okay with the race because I also had in my mind that the race on Sunday in Dendermonde won't be an easy one. So I just didn't go like the second or third lap full gas in Niel to blow myself up. So it was okay for me.
Technically, you're also a really good rider because we saw you as one of the only riders like at the side of the bumps in Niel, riding over the whole bump. How handy is it that you have such a good technique?
Yeah, it's of course a thing that I can save some power. I think with my technique, I can. I think I'm not the strongest rider on the in the field, but maybe I can compensate a bit with my technique. So it's always a bit trying to make going some things faster.
Yeah, because I think the toughest race last year technically was maybe Val di Sol, and you finished on the podium there. So yeah, that says a lot about your technique.
Yeah, that was a difficult race there.
Can you maybe talk us through your race in Dendermonde, because you rode a very good race there. You didn't start super well, I think you can say that, but you made like a comeback race all the way to 6th with your teammate Kuipers, who rode like a 2 time trial. Can you maybe talk us through that race?
It was a bit a strange race, like you said. I didn't have a very good start. I don't know. It was a bit a strange start. There was happening some stuff in the pack, I think. I was not far back, but I was around position 10 or something. But also in Dendermonde, I just try to go one pace and don't overpace it in the first few laps. And I think I did it quite good. After I think 2 laps, I was thinking I'm riding in nowhere. It was a bit strange, but then I saw all the guys in front of me, so then I realized I'm still in the game, and I just kept the pace, and I was going with a bit with Gerben. It was good that we can ride a bit together, and at the end it was really everything was going together again, and our group came back nearly on the group who was fighting for the podium. So yeah, in the second last lap, I tried to make a bit of move. It was working half, I would say. Our group was braking, but to keep up with the other riders in front wasn't possible. And yeah, at the end of the sixth place, I'm very happy for a race like that. The last seasons, I think that was a bit a point in very muddy races like in Dendermonde. I didn't have the best results, and so I tried to make a bit a different approach. I think a bit of better pacing, and that worked out at the end really good.
I can imagine after such a hard race in Niel, it takes a while for the legs to just get into that race in Dendermonde. How long does it take until you feel pretty comfortable, or wasn't it a problem at all for you?
I was, for me, after Niel, I didn't have a very bad legs. I felt good directly after the race. I felt good, and then in the morning before Dendermonde, I felt good. So it was not really a problem for me to get in the rhythm there.
So it was strong results for also for Kevin Kuhn, who took fifth place. How is he as a teammate? Like, because I also have the feeling that is a guy with a lot of untapped potential. Like, how good is he?
Yeah, he's a very good guy. I feel like we can learn from each other a bit, or get better when we ride against or with each other. And it's just, for me, it's good to have a rider in a team where we can compete in a way against each other, or just see him in the race, and also during just a good guy during the team trainings, and yeah, we have a good time with each other, but also with all the other guys in the team. So it's at the moment it's a very nice situation, you know.
Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but at the moment on the long road part in Dendermonde, I don't know which one of you it was, but someone like nodded to the other, like, come on my wheel, and we go full gas to the front.
Yeah, it was always me in the back, so Kevin always pulled me through the start finish. But yeah, it was a bit strange. We kind of lost each other's wheel, but at the end I always came back to his wheel. So it was, yeah, I was a bit lucky maybe, but at the end we were always or mostly together on the start finish straight. But I don't know exactly how it happened, but it was good for me.
And it seems to me that both you and Kuipers have a future on the road too, which is also Wanty Gobert is a very good team to be competitive both on the road and in cross. How do you look at it?
Yeah, I think for me it's more focused on the cyclo-cross season. I think he's a bit in another place. He's a very good road rider, and he did also some good road races. But for me, I feel like I'm more into cyclo-cross.
Okay. And about a type of courses, because like with a lot of riders, you have a clear picture. Like Michael van Torenhout, he loves technical muddy races. Zweig, he loves sandpits. But for you, I really have no idea what type of course you prefer. Like, you can race good in Dendermonde in the mud, but also in Val di Sol with a lot of altitude gain and snow. So what's like the type of course you love?
I think also I don't want to go on just on one type of course. So maybe the Just the only thing I was struggling a bit was the really muddy courses like in Dendermonde, but now I had a good result there, so I think could keep up a bit there. So yeah, I cannot really say what's a perfect course for me. So I enjoy them all.
That's even better. To which races do you look forward to most this season? Do you have like any particular goals or something?
Yeah, a lot of races. Yeah, no, I want to do all of the World Cup races. Yeah, I didn't do the one in the USA, but all the rest I gonna do. So I focus mainly on this one, and then of course the World Champs, and yeah, maybe some World Cups I'm looking forward to. Maybe Dublin was a nice one. Of course, Val di Sole feels a bit like a home race for me. It's maybe the closest race from home. Yeah, races like that. Yeah, there is a lot to come still. Or maybe Diegem is also a race I did for the first time last season. It was just a very nice experience. I'm looking forward to this one also. But there is just a lot of races in my head now.
How about the national races? Are you going to take the beautiful national jersey back?
Yeah, I hope. Last year I had a bit an error there, so it would be nice to take it. But to be honest, it's not my main goal to do like a very good race there. There is a busy period before in the Christmas during the Christmas period, so I want to do good races there, and then yeah, if I let's say if I have a good day, should be, yeah, of course I can take the win there, but yeah, let's see. It's not my main focus, but it would be nice, yeah.
All right, Kevin. About next weekend, you'll have a double weekend Telenet Superprestige round in Merksplas on Saturday, and on Sunday the World Cup in Troyes. To which one of the two are you looking forward the most?
A good question. Maybe Troyes. I don't know the course there. Merksplas, I've heard it's a bit a lot of mud there and a lot of water at the moment. So I don't know how this is going to be there. But I'm looking forward to Troyes. It's a new course, and yeah, also a bit closer to home.
For which circumstances are you hoping in Troyes? Rather dry or muddy, slippery?
I would like to have a race that it's not very, very deep mud, but maybe a bit slippy, but still a bit fast. That we didn't have this season, I think. That would be nice.
Well, as far as I know, the course in Troyes is, yeah, we call it the park cross in Belgium. If conditions are dry, it will be pretty fast with a lot of corners where you don't lose too much speed. If it rains, it get a little slippery, so yeah, it might suit you.
Yeah, probably, yeah. If I hear it, I hope.
I rewatched it was in the Coupe de France last year. It was so I rewatched the race and there's like a super technical like off camera. So yeah, if it's muddy, that's going to be a fun one.
Oh yeah, I think I also need to rewatch the race there to get a bit in the mood.
There's a good recap on YouTube.
That's good.
Superprestige and Merksplas. You're currently third in GC in Superprestige. Is it something you have your eyes on from now on?
Yeah, I'm third, but there is I think 4 or 5 riders with the same point or something.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
all a bit close together. Yeah, I'm gonna do all the races, but not Boom. That's just before Flamerville. But the rest I'm gonna do, and I yeah, I hope I can do a good result in GC also. Yeah.
All right. Dieter rewatched last year's race in Merksplas today, and he noticed you were the one with the best start. As so often, what is your secret to have a good start?
I don't know, maybe a good technique to go with the pedal fast. But no, I think I'm just very good in the short sprints. I don't know, I don't train it especially, but when I do some performance tests, like we can see that I'm just good in that kind of effort, and it's just naturally.
All right. Dieter, do you have anything to add before I ask the final question?
About your start, it also translates to a sprint like in the finish maybe. So if we didn't see you sprint for a podium yet, I think, but if you like have to sprint for a podium or for the win, you have a good chance then.
Yeah, I think I can do a good sprint, but I also think there is a lot of guys who can do a really good last lap and a really good sprint. So it's always, yeah, it's a bit difficult to say at the end of a race. But I think overall I have quite a good sprint.
All right, Kevin. One more question to end this episode of Cross is Boss. When will you be a happy man after the World Cup in Troyes next Sunday?
When I'll be a happy man. It's at the moment it's very difficult to say really say a result, because if you see the World Cup in Dendermonde, I think I lost 42 seconds on the first place, and the top 10 was in 1 minute. So that means also if you have a bit and off day, then you're directly out of the top 10. So when I'm a happy man, I think when I do a top 10, but I know that I can do more. So let's say the top 5 is possible.
Okay. Maybe one more question. Christoph Roodhoofd, the manager of Marcel Meisen, told this Sunday that Meisen is having his best power numbers all time, but still the results they don't follow. Do you push your best power numbers as well this season?
A good question. Maybe maybe a bit better than last year, yes, but not like especially better. But I think I'm just overall a bit better techniques, and maybe a bit better numbers. But I wouldn't say that I am in just a better shape than last year. Maybe just a little bit.
All right, that's perfect to hear. In order for next Sunday. Thank you very much, Kevin, for joining our podcast. We wish you all the best the coming weeks. And also a round of applause to my Domestique Dieter as well, and to you, our audience. If you like this episode, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I've got the spots, the sickness. There's the twins in my brain.